Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit more about how you refer to yourself in terms of setting yourself apart as a professional. So this is another episode of Can We Talk About Your WordPress Projects? I'm doing a live every day from now until January 31st when we have our client acquisition workshop. And these will just be some short little blurbs having to do with things that you need to have in your mind before you come to the workshop or just in general. So I'm sorry, I said I was going to do these at 4 o'clock-ish. And so it's 4:30. But I had to, I can't do one of these things without having a slide, at least one slide, right? So I wanted to put together this slide for you. All right, look, freelancer today has a bad connotation. Developer is too broad. I mean, everyone uses it. I'm a WordPress developer. I'm a website developer. Well, what does that really mean? Does that mean you're also a designer? I mean, we've been struggling with this for a really long time. But we seem to be kind of pigeonholed into these terms that we're accustomed to using in our circle. But your client has no idea what a developer does or what a designer does, because sometimes the designer just creates the design and sometimes the designer actually implements the design. So I'm saying you shouldn't be referring to yourself as a designer unless that's the only thing you do. But if you are a solution provider, like we talked about earlier today, and we talked about yesterday, about whether you're a website builder or a solution provider, and if there's nothing wrong with being a website builder, and in that case, you might want to refer to yourself as a website developer. But if you are a solution provider, if you're doing a whole lot more than just the nuts and bolts of putting together the pieces and parts of a website, then there are a myriad of other different ways you can refer to yourself. One is a website or a WordPress solution provider. That's the way I've been referring to myself for quite some time. But I have a slide. So let me see if I can bring that up. There you go. Yesterday we talked about who are you? You have to decide, are you a website builder? Are you a solution provider? Now let's talk about what you call yourself, because this helps set the stage with your client that you are a professional, you are a colleague, you're not a worker bee, somebody who's just a button pusher. Okay. So here are all the different things you could refer to yourself as. A digital agency. Lots and lots of people use that. It's still a little bit broad and it doesn't really say what you do. You could call yourself a website consultant or a website analyst or a web advisor. As a matter of fact, as I change the direction of my agency, I am using web advisors in the name of my agency. I really like that, and it really speaks to what it is I really want to do. I might not do the work myself, but I like the puzzle solving, if you will, or the discovery part, and putting all of that together. So I'm going to start referring to myself as a web or a website advisor. Business analyst, you could use business analyst or online business analyst. Website development specialist, digital marketing specialist. Now that's very specific. That's a lot more specific than digital agency. So the more specific you can be that points towards your specialty, the better. Website compliance specialist, if that's what you specialize in, if you're out there selling a whole bunch of Termageddon contracts, then that might be and making sure people have their privacy policies, that might be how you want to refer to yourself. Don't forget, you are also a project manager. If that's the thing that you want to specialize in, you could call yourself a website development project manager. Website audit specialist, if you're going to concentrate on audits, or a website audit and remediation specialist, if you're going to also fix it. So, get creative with these words that we tend to use these $8 words when we could be using $10 words, which are going to be a whole lot more specific and a whole lot more pointed towards who we really are. There's website solution analyst, website discovery services. That's one of the ones I played with because that's kind of how I want to position myself going forward, because that's the piece of the whole project management lifecycle that I like the best. website solution specialist. I think I said that one earlier, or website planning services. If you're wanting to work on the front end of planning it and pulling it together and then either hand it off to somebody else or maybe hire a team to do the development part, then you could refer to yourself as a website planning service. So I'm just trying to make the point that it's important how you refer to your agency or how you refer to yourself. And don't assume that your client knows what it means. So it's also a good idea, if you can, to have a tagline that kind of says exactly the problem that you solve and who you solve it for. So, and we'll go into more of that when we get into the client acquisition workshop and possibly in another one of these lives on another day. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. It's late on a Friday and I'm tired. I bet you are too. So we will be doing this. I have actually plans to do this over the weekend too. Keep our fingers crossed. We'll see if it works out. If not, I will definitely be back on Monday at 4:00 with another episode of Can We Talk About Your WordPress Projects, specifically targeted this month towards client acquisition. So until I see you next time, remember, stay productive, stay strong, and never stop learning. See you next time, guys.